Where the fuck were we? We were in a car. Somebody had a sword.
You weren't in a
Didn't
car.
seem good.
You were outside of a car, you fucks. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. I messed up.
Quick recap.
We got to run
We
it back.
defeated the leeches. I poured my leech and juice on them. I threw you all up on a bridge. Our car's out there. That's weird.
you guys got thrown up onto a bridge. You saw Michael and his cadre rowing down the not Mississippi, but they're rowing down it like it was the Mississippi.
The Mississippi.
And your car is here somehow.
Okay. Well, first thing, I'm gonna walk up to the driver's seat, and I assume it's Emily sitting in the driver's seat. Is it?
No, there's nobody in the driver's seat.
Oh, that's I would have.
I'm gonna hop up onto my motorcycle. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever, and I'm gonna rev it.
All right.
That's sick.
I feel like you didn't need a Bible quote for that one, but all right.
I most
Need
certainly
the Bible
did.
quote for all of it.
So Jerry's just going to pull out the walkie-talkie, and I'm going to call Red, because obviously this was him, right?
Sure. So, you call him up? Yes, what is it? What?
Hey, Red, thanks for getting our car, man. That's really nice of you. I didn't even know you knew we were out.
What?
Well, I guess it's live.
Okay,
But-
no. Gonna stop you right here. You have very bad timing on these things. Do you understand that? Is this an ability of yours? Do you just have a fantastic magical ability to interrupt people right in the good parts of movies?
Yeah, that's what I've been told, actually. It's,
I would appreciate it if you didn't use it then.
yeah, I'll work on that.
Look.
But yeah, dude, this was you, right? Bringing the car?
I don't know what you're talking about. Remember, you guys are doing your thing. I am doing my thing. I have a vested interest in you guys doing your thing, but I already sent Emily out to get the gear for you, which I'm assuming you all got.
Yeah,
Correct?
We got that, Red. Thank you,
Red.
Thank you again.
Right? Remember, you already talked to me about that, so then what is this about?
Jerry, you know that walkie-talkies don't have screens. Can't see us.
Oh, right. So Red, we just had a run-in with Michael. He
Okay.
got this big fiery sword, but that's not
Right?
the point.
That sounds very dangerous. I'm certain.
We had a run-in with some I'm not going to talk about that. But the thing is, we left our
Is there
car
Okay, so
not here.
what-
Someone brought the car and the motorcycle to us, and we thought it was you.
No.
I thought it was you.
I thought it was
How
God.
would I do that? Okay, let me break down a couple of problems in your little hypothesis here.
Red, you
One.
mind if I take this one real quick?
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
ahead,
Well,
toss it.
see, here's the thing, Jerry. Red is in New York, and
That
this
was
is
one.
not New York.
That was 1 and 2, actually. I was going to say it twice as a sort of a comedic thing.
Well, you know, comedy comes in threes, so I've read. The third being, Red doesn't know we're here.
Doesn't he?
Close. I'm going to give you a half on that one. The answer would have been Red doesn't care that you're here.
Sorry, this laughing is out of character, but that's hilarious.
You get half, though. That's close enough.
2.5 out of 3 ain't that bad.
Gentlemen, I assumed that you were... I was going to say competent, but I'll retract that statement. I was going to assume that you were independently capable. You don't need to call me every time you stub your toe.
Let's keep radio usage to a minimum from here on out.
You can
know?
call other people, just stop calling me at random times. If you need my help specifically, or if... Look, I don't need to be duplicitous. I don't need to be sneaky. If I do something for you, I'll tell you.
He's got a point there, Zep.
You know, Jerry, I think if you thought this through, you'd have realized it wasn't red.
I mean, Jerry, which one of us has the keys? Could we have? I mean, it's possible. Could have just been a good Samaritan.
Who does have the keys?
I think it might be prudent to turn off the walkie-talkie, the radio now, maybe.
Yes, please.
Oh, see you later, Red.
Enjoy that movie. Like,
You did it again, Jerry.
he said, "Please, what do you want from me?"
I mean, it's true. It's true that when we were at the arena, you know, I thought of putting an automatic control system in the car there, but I never actually got around to it. So it is I mean, it is actually kind of a conundrum here. How did the car get here?
You know, I'm sure the doer of that deed's gonna reveal itself all in due time.
Okay, when you look over it, the keys are currently in the ignition.
I'd like to roll perception real quick to make sure that there's not, like, you know, some kind of fucking bomb tied to the thing.
Sure.
You know, some sort of bullshit. This seems like some bullshit. That's a 26.
26? Ooh, that's a good ass roll. So what you're gonna see on a 26 is you're actually going to see a very, like, a fairly long hair on the driver's side, like the seat back, right?
Mm-hmm.
That clearly does not belong to any of you guys.
Can I use Specky as a mass spectrometer?
Shut the fuck up.
Spectrometer.
That actually, like, no joke, that actually made me a little mad.
Why? Because horrible puns are your thing?
Yeah, who the fuck do you think back the fuck off? Question mark?
I don't actually think Specky is sophisticated enough to be a mass spectrometer. So, what kind of hair does it look like? Do I know?
Well, I mean, you can see it. It is long blonde hair.
Well, what I'm saying is do I know enough about hair to identify it?
I ain't a
no
hair
horn,
scientist.
Okay, it's just hair.
Does biologists know about hair?
Well, no, it's actually a reasonable question here.
Based on the density and, like, how coarse it is and all that, looks elven.
Oh, okay. So it's most likely this is Michael's. Actually, here, I'm gonna give this to John.
No, it's not long enough to be Michael's.
I mean, we got at least one other elf now.
No, it's rather, my bad. It's too long to be Michael's.
Oh, it's too long to be Michael's?
Who do we know that's an elf and drives vehicles?
Too long to be his.
Oh, You're right.
I didn't know Manway could drive a motorcycle.
No, it's not Manway.
I thought it was Manway.
It could be Highway Star.
No, it's way too
No,
long
I
to
think
be
God
his.
just said it wasn't Highway
Too
Star.
long to be...
Highway Star is short hair.
Oh, that's right. Well, okay. Hey, John, can you take this hair for a quick second and I don't know. Can you, like? I mean, when Michael's around, you could sort of sense his magic, holy aura. I guess. Can you give this a quick?
You know, alas, I'm sure whoever did this will reveal themselves in due time. For now, I say we all just thank the Lord we got our cars here.
I suppose so. I mean, there's no real. I mean, we can't really waste much time here, as we just saw. It looks like Michael already has one of these relics of his own.
And ain't that just scary?
Does somebody want to roll history or something? Can we remember?
To remember what?
If we've met
Just
anybody
history.
who matches this sort of description.
So,
History is not memory.
quick
guys.
answer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Quick
That's right.
answer to
History's
that
not memory.
would be no.
Okay.
If you go back through all of the elves that you've met, let's think about people who have hair long enough. There might be some. There are a couple back in New York, but there's. Do you honestly think that? Probably not.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I was trying to remember if any of the like the side character like racers or anything that we met.
Nope.
But the only elf there was Highway Star.
Here,
So,
I want to try this. All right.
What are you gonna do there, Patton?
Elias shows me this. Okay, would you say it is unnaturally long?
No.
hair can't be really unnaturally long unless it's meters long.
It's just like several feet long. Like if you held it up to your head, like it would be, about like mid back length, right?
All right,
Oh,
so that's what
hair.
I'm saying. So that's pretty long hair. So
Long hair.
I'm gonna roll a history check to see if I can remember, because you can't have hair this long if you're out in this shitty environment that is the Rock. Unless you're living in some kind of cozy place, hair that long is a detriment. It can get caught. It gets dirty. It's nasty. So I want to see if there's anything I can recall.
Okay, so here's some things that you guys would know, right? There's a lot of weird magic shit you can do to alter appearance or to maintain appearance. Hell, there's tons. Some of the most basic elementary spells are just clean me off, right? Wizards do that shit all the time. Even people who are barely magic will constantly just do oh man, I was out doing things all day and now I didn't. My hair's back to being perfect. Everything's great. We're good.
Call it a wizard's shower.
I've never seen a dirty wizard before.
So his
it's
hair
not that
could have been
unnatural,
left here
It's
intentionally.
it's not that unnatural.
Well, I mean, it's unnatural in the fact that we don't know who the fuck's hair.
Also, elves are weird about that sort of thing. If it was the couple of things that Patton might be able to infer from this, based on his knowledge of magic and shit, is that it's just probably they probably have some form of magic, because otherwise it'd be a bit hard to keep that up. That maybe would be the extent of it.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead, pop out a vial, just kind of roll the hair up in there, just kind of get it in there like Abraham Lincoln's hair at that one museum.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you can
I'm
do
stealing your pun game, and you're stealing my putting things in vials game.
Also, you can
There's a
do
give
weird
and there's a
magic
take.
shit with shit. If you've got a weird idea for weird magic shit, you can go for it.
Well, here, this might take some time to look at this hair, see if it's been magically cleaned, magically lengthened, and I'll just go ahead and do that as we're driving back to.
Can't you just find people with the stuff? Ain't that a thing?
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah. All right. So that's what you're gonna want to do as you guys start driving. Which, by the way, where are you going?
You may just sure are creepy.
We need to start heading towards
The congregation.
Yeah, we want to
You're
go
going back to the congregation.
Yeah, we don't
It's
know where
like
the
a
next
staging
relic
area?
is yet.
Yeah. We should head back to the congregation just to
Let
Recoup.
Lazarus know.
let
we got
Lazarus
stuff.
know, and probably set up a staging area because
Mhm.
we can't just drive straight to
yes.
Colorado.
And you guys were talking about. I can't remember if this was recorded or in between episodes. You guys were also talking about the possibilities of Operation Road Train.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Your
Operation
big
Road
rig.
Train.
Your
Yeah,
big
we
rig
need a big
mobile
rig.
staging area.
Right, we need
Or-
to get because we want to have a mobile staging area, so we don't have to keep going.
Yeah,
Back to
either on an actual train or just a big ass big rig,
I vote big rig. I'm gonna wear a
off-roader,
trucker hat.
like an off-roader styled big rig.
Yeah,
So-
I'm down with the big rig, just because
So-
we don't know what the railways look like.
Yeah, we can go. We can try and contact Dr. Robo through Highway Star.
Gave you the frequencies and everything. You for all intents and purposes, because it would just take very, very small hoops to jump through to get to these people, you are assumed to have people that you've met in a virtual contact book, right?
Right.
Like
Anyone we could
might
reasonably
take a
get in touch
little
with?
bit- Wait, what?
Anyone we could reasonably get in touch with?
Yeah, you can just shortcut to it, because I don't want to go. Well,
Okay.
if you want to get in touch
Yeah,
with them, that's no.
Yeah, this ain't
So-
like
Going to use
Shadowrun.
this amount of charge from your walkie-talkie.
I might start rationing you with that shit once you guys get further out west.
Don't do the walkie-talkie. We could just hand
I'm
crank.
not going to do
They
the
exist?
walkie-talkie thing.
Okay.
I'm not going to do the walkie-talkie thing, but I mean, you are actually going to have to keep track of, gas and shit.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, as you guys are on the way back to the congregation, Pam, what are you doing with the hair? Like give me a quick description of what you're doing, and then give me an Arcana check.
So I'm kind of like, I've got some. All right, so I've got it laid out. It's on a nice little, kind of like a wooden slate here, and I've got a bunch of little tiny potions. I've got droppers in them. I just drip, 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 drip. Trying out these different kind of mixtures that I'm aware of that people use to lengthen the hair to keep it clean. Something called conditioner. I'm checking to see if any of these are present in there, and if there is, I've got like I've got small samples of different types that I know are more prevalent in some areas than there are in others. And then magically, like I know that some people kind of have different like hairstyle, like preferred hairstyles in areas.
I thought you were just going to track him with the hair.
I think he's doing that, but flavoring it as science.
Affected. Yeah. It's science and also like a little bit of magic to see if they put any wacky shit.
And it's literally just tracking them with their hair.
I rolled a 1.
That one?
That
Forensics? One. Okay, so you go in.
You forgot to take it back from John, and he drops it.
So you go in there and you're like, let me see, let me try and do some stuff. You start pouring in some chemicals. You swirl the vial around a bit. It turns a kind of weird greenish color. And you go, okay, let's start trying to pour that out. And oh no, the hair dissolved. Just entirely.
Good job.
Listen, it's not an exact science.
Well, Patton, I have a few issues with that statement.
It's completely gone at this point, is that correct? Like, it's completely gone?
Yes.
Fuck! I had something I was going to do with it, damn it.
Patton, to your point of it not being an, quote, exact science, you see, it sort of is an exact science.
Wow.
Well, see, it takes so long for normal science to make progress. I see no reason not to kind of push it along. Sometimes go a little bit faster.
Patton, let me explain. Let me tell you about a little thing about science here. Patton, you see, the thing is science takes time.
Rhyme.
You can't just throw chemicals on things and hope that it turns out all right, because a lot of times, let's see, you take something like bleach and ammonia, and you get dead.
Red.
Huh? Specky, you had something to say here?
Wait, bleach and ammonia? Are you talking about my patent pending mustard gas malaise? Or miasma, I'm sorry. I get those two mixed up sometimes.
So just so you guys know, Specky has been, just kind of like perched up on Eliza's shoulders, been parroting him a little bit more.
Huh.
He's
parroting me more?
Yeah, trying to talk a bit.
Go ahead, Specky. I believe you had something to add to the discussion.
Shakes head. Meow.
Oh, okay.
Elias is 100% on the side of the fungus.
Elias, would you know anything about mana signatures at all? Like, is that a thing?
Well, it depends. One can certainly look into the ways that various prey and predator species track each other through mana-dense forests, though that doesn't really apply here. It's not really signatures so much as it's a lingering aura of a certain size.
I want to talk. This sucks. Motorcycles are garbage.
Oh yeah, you're on a motorcycle.
Yeah, John's
outside.
on a motorcycle. He's not hearing any of this.
He's just hearing this sweet sound of this baby purring.
Trying desperately not to run it off the road still.
Because he doesn't actually know how to ride a bike.
I think I do now. Kind of. Wondering how the hell people pop wheelies.
He's getting there.
But anyway, Elias, what I mean to ask is, like, if we found a trace of who this was, well, we had a trace, but we don't anymore, but if we find another one, maybe they've watched my show, maybe there's some latent mana lying around. Okay.
Let me explain something here, Jerry. It might not be common knowledge. Maybe the listeners at home could sort of clue in. Let's imagine we have two magical people, right? Let's call them Jerry and Elias. Okay.
Also, there are two in post. Zep is going to add in little graphics.
So these two people, one day they go out for a walk in the woods. This is a magically dense woods. If it wasn't
They're
a magically
stick figures.
dense woods,
It doesn't look very good.
we couldn't walk in these woods for very long because we would die, as I'm sure our viewers at home know quite well. Jerry and Elias go for a walk in the woods. Jerry goes down the left path. Elias goes down the right path. Jerry and Elias are pretty similar in height, pretty similar in build, pretty similar in available ambient mana. Now, if someone were to come along later and say, I would like to find Jerry, they send out a ping or a signal through the mana, looking for mana signatures that have been recently active. Now, how would they tell the difference between the two?
That's a good point.
How would they tell the difference between the two?
I don't know, science man.
That is exactly right. You don't know. You would not be able to know. You cannot tell.
So it only shows their physical features.
No, you wouldn't be able to tell physical features at all. Everyone on this rock puts out ambient mana in proportion to their own mana production and to their own to a certain extent their own size. There is no way to distinguish, as far as I am aware, barring congregation interesting developments, the source or the signature of one creature's mana versus another.
Now, the interesting thing here is, yes, you can't do that if you're just looking for straight mana, but there are specific rituals, right, which none of you are particularly trained in, and things like that can bypass that can lock onto someone's identity.
If you were going to, that's like drawing a line from one source to another to like follow it.
Right.
So if you tag the source and then tag the person, you'd be able to.
Right, there are some rituals that can do that, and some particularly strong ones that can even skip some steps to like find a particularly weak trail or approximate a trail. However, that's not finding a mana signature, and that's not something any of you guys are particularly versed in.
Well, yeah. So for the viewers at home, no, you can't. Also, all of this is mute because, and I'm going to grab the vial that is full of moot. All of this is moot. Thank you. Yeah. All of this is moot because I grab the vial and pour it out onto the floor. I assume it smokes.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have a sample anymore.
What? I can't hear you. I had y'all on mute.
Oh, hey, John.
Shut up, John.
How you doing out there?
Vroom, vroom, yeehaw!
What are you using as a helmet over there? Is it a lampshade by any chance?
I mean, he'd be holding on to his hat. Does that count?
I guess in some ways, yes. So, anyway. So you guys are driving back to the congregation, and this conversation has basically taken up the whole time. So you guys pull right back on in. At this point, it's pretty late, right?
Yeah, this was pretty far away, if I remember correctly.
It was, it was pretty far away. So you get in pretty late at night.
Wait, were we within a day's drive of the congregation?
We were.
Yeah.
We got sidetracked because he wanted to race cool cars.
It's not that far away.
I think we just got sidetracked by leeches. So it's late.
Yeah, it was only like a couple of hours. Your final destination was only a couple of hours away by car, but you got sidetracked into sick races and then leeches.
That's true.
So you guys pull right back on in, and you see sitting out underneath an awning in front of one of these houses is Lazarus on a rocking chair. Looks to be asleep.
He's not asleep now. John just rode his motorcycle into congregation.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Granddad Lazarus, look what I found.
Huh? Oh.
Check out this motorcycle. I've always wanted one of these
Or
motorcycles.
do you know what time it is?
I'm gonna ride a motorcycle, I'd say. Want to go for a ride?
Not now, boy. Not now.
I love hyperactive kid in a candy store, John.
Hey, Lazarus.
All right.
Oh,
You're just
also,
gonna yell at him?
I mean,
we found that
we gotta.
Could y'all please quiet it down a little bit? People are trying to sleep.
we found that artifact.
Oh, you did now. Let me see.
Class?
What? Oh, well, I assumed you still had the box, but well, it seems to have affected me to a somewhat to an extent. I'll just hold out my hand and sort of produce the little flame.
I think he's gonna let it go.
Oh, now that's interesting right there.
Yes, well, it's certainly unprecedented in terms of mana usage. I don't seem to be really consuming any mana of my own.
I don't really know exactly what any of that means, but I'm agree.
You're right.
Lazarus is great.
Well, we got that artifact, Lazarus. But the thing is, you said there was one artifact there.
I do believe I said that people were sleeping.
All right, sorry, got it. Get
Thank
the
you.
microphone, All right, turn it up a little bit. Turn it up. Okay. So, Michael has this flaming sword.
At that, his eyes are going to go a bit wide, and he's going to look around a little bit. Just like left, right. So what you say? So, Michael's got that sword, huh?
It would appear so.
Now, that's a bit of a predicament, because that don't line up. That don't line up with the trumpets. Might be separate. In which case, y'all are in a lot of trouble. Said he got that sword. Now, that's what I think it is. Y'all are in for a little bit of a hard time. But you can't let that get to you, though. You done good. You done good. It means the guy's on your side, right?
Well, I suppose if you say so.
Just gotta have faith,
No.
Elias.
Now, I don't rightly know where the rest are, but secrets are just in this good book right here. So, let me read you something. And the second angel sounded, and as were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood.
That doesn't sound good at all.
Well, that seems fairly apocalyptic.
Probably get some
Yeah.
good video though, right, Jerry?
Oh yeah, you bet your ass it will. But I mean,
I think it would be best to sort of avoid anything with that kind of power.
I think that's
but,
where we gotta go.
I think y'all know where you gotta go. You should.
Which way is the sea, guys?
Well,
We got a
from
50-50
what I
shot.
understand, there's two oceans, one to the east and one to the west. Though I would imagine that anything that's sufficiently destructive or mana active would sort of stand out on the east coast, where everyone sort of is already, which leaves one logical conclusion. And what do you think that would be, Jerry?
well, folks, looks to camera. We're going out west. Graphic.
She doesn't have to be so melodramatic about it, but yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, and then there's a big graphic as it pans back over Elias's face, as his face is just still covered by the graphic.
Elias as the biologist. Patton as the doctor.
The bird thing.
Patton as the bird? Question mark?
John as John.
Jerry as the stable boy.
Wreck.
Jesus.
Oof.
Oofta.
Okay, so anyway, y'all are gonna need to go out west, right? So
apparently, yes.
As
Going out
this
west.
scene, comes to a close, you guys had some interesting ideas for how you were going to get there,
Yes, we did.
right? So,
Well,
we do.
not in character. I didn't, but
right. So, in character, you might want to have a quick discussion about what were you guys calling it? Was it Road Train? Operation Road Train?
You know it, fam.
Operation Big Fucking Rig.
Big
So
rig
you got
trucking.
a couple of outs for people to talk to if you want to get that together. You could talk to Dr. Robo, you could talk to Casey, you could talk to any of the steel drivers, any of those guys. If they're like, hell yeah, bro, that sounds sick.
Let's call up the whole crew.
What, do a conference call?
I think we only need a driver.
Well, we don't need a driver for a big rig, do we? They're not that complicated, are they? This is in character.
We're still gonna need someone to drive it.
I consider myself to be quite the automotive expert.
The holy roller, and it just cuts back to the fucking truck that is falling apart with a piece of wood as the roof, and then like the bumper falls off, and then it smash cuts back to Patton. Automotive expert.
I learned so many ways to destroy a car. I just have to not do those. It's easy.
See? Progress there, everyone.
There's sort of a flaw with that kind of reasoning. There's this thing. There's known knowns, and there's known unknowns, and then there's unknown unknowns, which is the thing that you're sort of walking into. It's things that you don't know that you don't know.
And the only way to know those unknowns that I don't know, because they're unknown, is to know those unknowns. See? Simple, Elias. And how do you know those unknowns? I don't know.
Patton, big rigs have trailers. Trailers let you build labs in them. You don't want to
Yeah, that's
drive
why
one
I'm
in the
saying.
lab. You can't do the same thing at the same. You can't do those same time.
I actually am quite interested in having a sort of I believe they called it a big rig.
That sounds almost like a challenge, Jerry.
As a mobile laboratory, seems quite useful for our purposes.
Similar to what
It also
Bell had
saves us
on
the trouble
train.
of needing to come back here all the time. If we can stay in constant contact with Lazarus while on the road as a mobile base of operations, it seems quite useful.
I'm 100% for it.
I like that idea.
It's a matter of getting the parts, though. I do believe we have sufficient credo, sufficient monetary resources to acquire these parts. I believe we contact Dr. Robo and Casey, maybe the steel drivers. Wouldn't take very long to put this together. That's right? We could do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try.
We do the
They
thing.
definitely have.
No, you
big
don't. You
rigs.
don't do the thing. You're gonna have to actually do it. It's not
Yeah.
like you just get to smash cut to a thing. So who are you guys gonna call?
Dr. Robo. That's why I suggest.
Well, who has the most cred with Dr. Robo?
Also, it's really late and you guys got eaten by leeches for like 10 years today.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's true. We should probably head in for the night.
Yes. So just so you know, if you guys heard, Specky is now off of your shoulder and on top of the car, and it was just kind of looking down at you guys and pointing into the car with one of the tendrils.
Oh, okay, I'll take a look in the car then.
No, there's nothing in there. It's just saying we should go.
Oh, are we not at the... I thought we were at the...
Yeah, but you guys are at like some random house or whatever, and then so you guys are all talking outside here. Specky's going to point at Lazarus, and then hold up a tendril in front of its mouth and go meow.
Oh, so we're being too loud. Oh, that's true. All right, well, I believe we should take Specky's advice and turn in for the night. John, there's aren't there accommodations of sort of bunks, shelter, some sort of area?
Yeah,
We
you
stayed
guys
here
can go back to
before.
that. Yeah, you guys can go back to that the community center that you stayed at.
Granddaddy Lazarus, is it fine if we stay where we stayed before?
You're always welcome.
Oh, like Granddaddy.
Jerry gets the bottom bunk.
All right, folks, let's hit the hay.
Stop bullying him.
He bullies himself.
So we take a little quickie, take a quick nap.
No, yeah, extended rest. Nothing of real importance happens, right?
Yeah, we don't need to keep watch at night or anything like that.
Yeah, no. You guys are in a fully safe environment and all
That's
of
because
that.
God will keep watch over us at night.
No, yeah, you get all of your hit points back. Get all of your healing surges back. All your dailies back. You have one action point. Remember, it's all individual rooms. So, Patton, you're gonna hear a knock on your door.
Thank you for the Foley work. I'll go ahead and answer the door.